Hello, everyone. Welcome to Online Seller UK podcast. My name is Prabhat, your host for today, and I've got really interesting topic today. It's talking about Pinterest, and I've got Matt with me. Matt is a co-founder of Pinformative Group. Matt, welcome to our podcast.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Excellent. So, Matt, I think it's good to introduce yourself and what your group does, and we can take it from there.
Yeah, sure. So just a quick overview background of myself, because obviously I've just explained to you off the cast, I'm kind of coming into this space head on. My background's engineering and development. I've been in this space for 20 years. I was part of the eBay Development Global Development team. And I'm predominantly an engineer developer, but now what's happening is I've become the co-founder of a group called Pinformative Group. And what we're doing is we are looking under the hood at the data side of Pinterest and using that to get multiple direct traffic flows to all industries, including Amazon, Etsy, all the kind of marketplaces. And so we've set up a company and formed it, and that's pretty much it, really.
Okay, excellent. So, yes, so let's start with traffic from Pinterest to Amazon as such. So why should we do that?
Okay, so I think the answer is, if you look at the way that Amazon has kind of their outlook of Amazon in the last 18 months is they're looking very highly, especially the A9 algorithm, at external traffic flows, how they're coming in. So if you imagine you're looking out your window and you're Amazon, and you see all these growing industries, Shopify, etc. They aren't silly at Amazon. They're thinking to themselves, we want a piece of that traffic. How do we get it? So the way that they're doing that, and the reason we formed, is to become as best knowledgeable as we can on external traffic flows, because it's becoming a bigger topic. It's always going to grow, and brand recognition is becoming a bigger thing, not only on Amazon but outside. And they know that. So they've obviously came up with the Amazon Associate Program, the Amazon Attribution with your clicks, and you can get up to 10% bonus refund on your items when you come through from Pinterest to Amazon and get a sale. And that's a lot of revenue. And that revenue can be redistributed across your PPC campaigns, which we feel is a massive thing. I mean, 10% is nearly half, or sometimes if it's a big revenue company, a big seller, that's the whole revenue profits that's right there. So, I think that the answer is that external traffic is taken more seriously by Amazon now. They have to, they don't have a choice. And I think it's a good move. And I think in the last 18 months, especially with the video side of things, with TikTok, etc., things have blown open. And that's why DSP is taking video algorithm and so much more seriously now. So yeah, that's. I hope that answers that question. I've tried to cover everything in my head then.
No, that's good. Yeah, it's all good. So for somebody who's, I would say a lot of people know about Pinterest, but maybe a lot of people haven't started doing anything on Pinterest, right?
Yeah.
Especially Amazon sellers, because I've got to be honest, a lot of Amazon sellers have got a high amount of revenue through Amazon than website or any other platform as such. So if somebody is to start looking into doing Pinterest, how do one person start? So do you want to help us on that side to start?
Yeah, no, sure, no problem. So I'll give you a direct run through of how they can basically set up a basic portfolio on Pinterest, because the one thing I need to let people, I'd like to let your listeners understand is that it's a different audience. You're talking about an 80% demographical female audience that is lifestyle based, and you could be missing out on an opportunity of a completely different buying market. Because even though on Amazon you've got that direct flow, you've got that, I know the foot traffic's there, I completely understand that. However, with Pinterest, people see Pinterest as this beautiful lifestyle-based, aesthetically beautiful platform where you just plan everything. But the thing is, underneath the beautiful lifestyle images is a really intricate algorithm that has the potential to run infinitely with evergreen traffic for free on organics. That in itself is a brilliant outlook at the moment, because if you think about it, it's just free traffic that you could be reining in and redirecting, because people don't understand. And this is why I chose Pinterest over any other platform. It's the ultimate middle funnel. It's kind of like you can build a warm audience and redirect that on any marketplace that you want to. And you could do it just trickling through for free. So really, in theory, the effort there could be minimal just to get that extra traffic that can help boost your listings. So what I would suggest is, from sort of a beginning entry point of view, is that there's a very simple way of doing it. And I'm smiling right now because a lot of sellers miss this, and you just think, why? Because I did that when I saw this. So when you go through to your item on, you choose your inventory item live, you'll notice underneath your buy box, you've got your social share buttons. People don't really notice they're there because they're more interested in winning the buy box. And that's the funny thing. It's like a subliminal thing that nobody notices. So my advice is very simple. You can open up a Pinterest account very easily. You don't go through hoops like you do with Amazon or eBay or any of the others. There's no, authoritative business side of things, administrative business side of things to set that up. Set up a Pinterest account, make it into a business account, take your minimum, probably an hour, maximum a full day, which that's just waiting for that authentication. And then what you can do very simply is click on the Pinterest P underneath your item, and you can share that across to your Pinterest account. And suddenly you've got a pin that's live, and it's that simple. I mean, I've simplified that a little bit more than it is, but it is literally a question of sign up for a business account on Pinterest, pin across the item you want, put it to a board, bearing in mind that a board carries URL weight on Google, so external traffic again, and that's it. And just, even if you have to pin one a day, just do 30. Suddenly you've got 30 pins that could be driving what? Let's call it, I don't know, 100 traffic eventually after 2 months. You've got about 3,000 traffic flows, potentially about 100 customers you never had for free. That's insane in my eyes, but that's just me. I like to calculate things in that manner. So,
yeah. I think it's always nice to talk numbers, and also thanks for explaining the easiest way to pin the product onto Pinterest. So, so looking at different categories. So I met one of my friends, and we're doing drop shipping on Shopify, through Shopify, and they were saying, Pinterest has been a good source of traffic to their Shopify store at that period of time. So irrespective of the channel, and they were selling furniture items. So and they were doing really, really well through that, and they were all free traffic at this stage. So I know personally furniture works well, but from your perspective, because you are involved in Pinterest a lot more than myself, so what are the categories that works well on Pinterest?
Okay, so I mean, Pinterest has been around since 2009, but really the investment came when it floated around about 2019. So if you think about this, and it's kind of in its infancy, it's had a boost in the last few years. And that's why the developers at Pinterest, I mean, we work very closely with Pinterest. We have a specialized agent there that we work with in regards to getting this kind of statistical feedback to understand demographically how things are changing, because they are changing quickly. I mean, if you scale back to Amazon in the early days, they were just books. Then they moved on to something else. Then the demographics changed. Suddenly here we are. They do everything. And it is predominantly a female-dominated market, Pinterest, especially in the US. However, that's changing all the time. So I'm only saying what I know now, rather than, this cast goes out and it could change in the next 2 months. However, at the moment, lifestyle is a big category. Sports and leisure is a huge category. Anything children's, because you've got to remember, ladies like buying for the kids and babies. That's a huge market. But it is changing. I mean, it was 80%, I'd say, looking at our stats, because we get flow through from Google Data Studio, and it's coming to about 75 now, and it's 25 men. So it's changing because it's becoming more popular. And as things get more popular, those kind of stats shift, as you probably know and seen in the past. The other thing I would say right now is that, yes, you're very correct. I mean, we've just onboarded a client, and they do something in regards to interior design. And I'd say it's a huge market. One thing I would say, I think we're going to move on to this in the next question, so I'm just careful about what I'm saying, is that you can actually create a warm audience, because you've got to remember, a lot of people treat Pinterest as a number of things, especially when it's misunderstood. Number one, they'll treat it as a competitive marketplace, which it's not. They treat it as a social media, but you don't share your selfies on there, and it's not. It's a hybrid platform with a middle flow. So I'd say if you actually hit up the right audience in the right way, you could creatively create a marketing campaign and build a warm audience to expose your brand in a numerous amount of ways that you want to do. It's up to you, that really. So yeah, I've kind of answered your question, but not. But it's an ever changing audience. But I would say at the moment it's female dominated, and yes, you're right. Lifestyle, homeware, that kind of thing is a big market for sure.
Absolutely, and you can always try things and see what happens through that.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Okay, so yeah, I'd like to talk more, but we're limited with the time, so I'd like to wrap up today. And we've talked most things about Pinterest. Before I close today, so I'd like to talk about, we've talked about organic and pinning, but the advertising bit is something that we've not touched. So if you could summarize the advertising bit in a minute or two before we wrap up, that would be good. So Pinterest advertising.
Okay, so Pinterest advertising. In our onboarding brochure, we have something that relates to the Flourish or Nourish campaign. We've devised that campaign, and what you've got to understand with Pinterest, with ads, it's not like other marketplaces where you've got short-term, short keywords. It's a long-term game algorithm. So my advice is if you go into Pinterest with ads, it's great because it's cheaper. It will allow you to free up that distribution on Amazon ads and redistribute those payments in a more effective way by redirecting external traffic. I'm trying to fit this in quickly, so I hope that makes sense. And with Amazon ads, it's cheaper, it's more cost effective. There's a lot of potential for external traffic flow. But I think the most important thing where people go wrong is you have to let the organics grow for a minimum of 2 to 3 months and leave your pins there before you apply ads. Because if you don't let the tree grow and you water it too much, it just drowns and fails. And that's pretty much the analogy we've got with Pinformative.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, excellent. So you've given us so much information about Pinterest. I'm sure the listeners will go and at least give it a go and try it. So if somebody is to find you and ask you more questions individual to their businesses, where's the best place to get to you, Matt?
Yeah, well, as you know, I'm flying over to Prosper, so we'll have a booth at Prosper on the 14th to 17th in Las Vegas in the US. And if you want to get hold of us directly, we've got a Pinformative Group website, pinformative.com, or you can find us on Facebook group, Pinformative. Just type that into your search and you'll find myself, Marie O'Shea and Daniel Raza, who are my partners, and you can just join the group. There's free media on there, so you can always have a look at the videos, and we've got a course, and there's some free stuff on there for you to learn more, especially with the Amazon community.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you very much, Matt. And I shall speak to you soon. All the best.
Thank
you.
Bye for now. Yeah. No, thanks very much. Cheers. Thank you.
Bye-bye.